Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Board Gamers. My name is Dave,
And I'm Dirk.
and today it's release day. So we got the new Wonder Man and Hercules
Yeah, I've been looking forward to these guys.
Hero Pack. So we're going to do an unboxing video for each of them. So this video, we're going to do Wonder Man, and then we'll do one with Hercules. And we will lower the camera when we get to the cards, but we're going to keep this view for the beginning part. All right, so this is also the new packaging style. So Synthesoid SmackDown had this style too. So this is more earth,
Eco-friendly.
yeah, eco-friendly packaging. So let's take a look at the card. So we'll start with Wonder Man. So come on. So we got the cards, which we'll get
Okay.
to in a second.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
no, 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 not yet.
I was just going to take them out and just stack them back up. That way we're not doing it on
All right. Well,
waiting
so
on
we
on
also
everything.
have a poster of Wonder Man. So gonna can't quite see the whole thing, but and let's take a look at the Wonder Man Hero Pack. So one of the new things they did now is instead of reprinting the explanations of all the keywords, there's a QR code so you can learn about amplify, permanent, piercing, player side scheme, setup, and tuck.
Yeah, and then they only put
Those
in
are,
the new ones.
yeah, those are all mechanics that we've had before. So there's a thing called alternate player card backs. We'll take a look at that. And then there's some rules clarifications. Wonder Man is coming in Justice. And then we just have all the credits and the licensing approval and a list of playtesters.
Woohoo!
So so now we're going to switch to the blow up camera so we can look at the cards. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the alter ego for Wonder Man. It's Simon Williams, 3 recovery. He's a civilian, hand size 6, 12 hit points.
And
Yes.
and here's the special part.
Yeah, so he's a civilian.
Yeah, right.
No, we have Ionic Energy Being. You may include events with the printed energy resource icon from any aspect in your
I
deck.
love the specialized deck building.
Yeah, this is our 7th character that we've gotten with unique deck building, and that's one of the things I really love. Setup is put Ionic Physiology into play.
Okay, and we'll get to that one in a minute.
Yep, and then on the hero
All
side,
right. Okay, as Wonder Man, he's an aerial avenger. He has 2 thwart, 1 attack, and 2 defense. He has the power recycling, which means he gets he gets +1 attack for each card tucked underneath Ionic Physiology. We'll get to that card in a minute again. But as a force response, after he makes a basic attack, you're going to discard each card that's tucked under there. And he has hand size of 5 with 12 hit points.
okay,
Right?
and then we have Ionic Physiology, which is a permanent upgrade. It's a superpower. Max 3 cards tucked here. Response. After you play an event with a printed energy resource, tuck that event from your discard pile under this card, and you get to heal 1 damage from your identity. So yeah, so he can have up to 3, which would make his attack of 1, now a 4. So his stat is considered 4 until you make a basic attack, of course, and then
Okay, so
you
making the
just
basic attack, it looks like, is the only way to actually get rid of them.
and then this is the unique back now that they're talking about. So so when you're sorting your cards, if you don't sleeve, you'll be able to separate it from the rest of your hero cards. So that's kind of cool.
Okay.
All right, then.
All right, so first card we've got here is it's Active Altruism, so it's a 0 cost event. We have 3 copies of it. It is a thwart event that removes 1 threat from a scheme as a hero action. Remove 2 additional threats from that scheme for each energy resource you overpaid to a maximum of 2 energy. So you can remove a total of 5 threat from a scheme if you spent 2 energy.
And it also has a printed energy on it.
I'm sorry, let's see. Yeah, for each that you overpaid. So you can overpay for these.
Yeah. All right, then we have Ionic Blast. We have 2 copies. It's a 1 cost event. Attack superpower, hero action attack. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. Deal 2 additional damage to that enemy for each energy resource you overpaid for this card to a maximum of 3. overpays that you can do, and it
All right.
generates an energy as well.
All right. So that's you pay 4 to get 9. Okay. All right, then we have Starstruck. So we've got 3 copies of this. It is a 1-cost attack superpower event. As a hero action, you can deal damage to an enemy equal to your attack. And if you overpaid for this card with an energy resource, you get to stun that enemy. So in this one, you only have to overpay by 1 to get that, as long as it's with an energy.
Right. All right. Then we have 2 copies of a resource card, Energy Siphon. It generates an energy by itself, but then Hero Interrupt. When you spin this card, you can take up to 3 damage. This card generates 1 additional energy resource for each damage taken this way.
That's interesting.
So
I like that.
yeah, so this is a guaranteed way to get some extra energy as long as you're willing to take some damage. Kind of like Wolverine in a way.
Alrighty.
In a sense.
And 1 copy of that one?
2 copies.
2 copies? Okay. And then we've got Wonder Fan. So this is a 1-cost civilian support. As an alter ego action, you can exhaust the fans, and you can choose to either tuck an event with a printed energy resource from your discard pile underneath Ionic. I like that. So it's from the discard pile instead of your deck or hand, and then draw 1 card. Or draw 1 card.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Then we got Jet Belt. It's a 2-cost upgrade. Item tech, hero resource, exhaust Jet Belt to generate an energy resource for an event. Or as a hero response, you can exhaust Jet Belt and discard a card tucked under Ionic Physiology to generate an energy resource. And it generates a mental by itself.
Yeah, so this is the first one that has not been able to provide an energy.
Right. But I do like, so you...
Well, actually, it still can provide an energy.
Well, yeah, the actions do. So yeah, so you can generate an energy for an event, which is great. But then also, if you need the energy for something else, you could just get rid of a card that you have tucked under Ionic Physiology to generate an energy.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering if they were going to give you a way to get to rotate cards out from underneath there without having to use it.
Okay.
All right, then we've got Mr. Hollywood. So this is a 1-cost upgrade. It's a title, and as a resource action, you can generate an energy resource to overpay for a card. So you can only do it to overpay. But since it's a resource action, you can do it during any phase. So I like that.
And the nice thing is, it's got two things. So one, so you got some built-in overpay, which is great. But you don't exhaust the card, so it's limit once per card. But if you got 2 or 3 Wonderman events that you want to get out that have the overpay, option, then Mr. Hollywood can at least generate more than one of it for you. All right, then.
All right, so next we've got a signature sunglasses. So this is a 1-cost item upgrade. As a response, after you change form, you can choose to either tuck an event or resource card with a printed energy resource from your discard pile under the Ionic Physiology, or you can add a tucked card from it to your hand.
So you can reuse a card.
And that one provides strength.
And then the final Wonderman card we got is a 2-cost upgrade. What are you? Superpower, force interrupt. When Wonderman would be defeated, instead set his hit point dial to 4 and change him to alter ego form. You may tuck events with printed energy resources from your discard pile under Ionic Physiology until there are 3 tuck cards there. Then you can remove this card from the game. So this is nice, one of those, save your bacon cards, but it also fully powers up your Ionic Physiology in addition to giving you 4 hit points.
So that's nice.
All right, so Wonderman comes in Justice. So the first card we got.
All right, the first thing we've got here is Firebrand. So she is
Firebird.
Firebird. I'm sorry. So she's a 2-cost aerial avenger ally with 2 hit points, forts for 2, attacks for 2. She does take 2 consequential when she attacks, but if you overpaid for her, you can put 1 rebirth counter on her. And as an interrupt, whenever she would be defeated by consequential damage, you can remove the rebirth counter from her to heal all damage from her instead. So that's cool that it heals all damage. So if you have some way to actually beef up her hit points, you can heal her all the way back up. That's kind of nice.
Or, you're getting, even without that, you're getting 4 hit points out of her because when she comes into play, you get a rebirth counter.
Yes.
So that's pretty nice. All right. Then we got Hawkeye here. He's a 3-cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 3 hit points, Avenger Shield. Hawkeye enters play with 4 arrow counters on him. And as a response, after an ally makes a basic thwart, you can remove 1 arrow counter from Hawkeye to deal 2 damage to a minion.
Oh, so this is interesting. So they've they've taken the leadership one and kind of modified them a little bit to work for justice. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, then we have the Scarlet Witch. So this one looks like a reprint. This
No,
is
it's new.
Is it new?
Yeah.
Okay. But she is. Oh wait, is the other one aggression? I don't remember. But
That was Quicksilver's signature ally.
Oh, okay. I remember there was another Scarlet Witch. So she's a 2-cost Avenger Mystic ally with 3 hit points. She thwarts for 2, she attacks for 2, and has a forced response. After you play her, you discard the top card of the encounter deck, and if it's a treachery card, you resolve its when revealed ability. So
Yeah, so it's kind of a little bit of the Scarlet Witch hero flavor into it. All right, then we got Sentry. He's a 3-cost ally, 2 thwart, 3 attack, 5 hit points, aerial Avenger, force response. After Sentry enters play, search the encounter deck for a side scheme and reveal it, then shuffle. If no side scheme was revealed this way, then you place 6 threat on the main scheme. So it's kind of like the aggression Sentry where you got an encounter card, but this one is really justice related because you're getting a side scheme, which of course has got additional threat. And if you don't have any more side schemes in the deck, because you're only searching the deck, not the discard pile, then you are going to add 6 threat to the main, which could pop it.
yeah, so you got to be really careful doing it. But I actually really like this.
Yeah, it's kind of got like a little one way or another.
Yeah.
All right, the next card we have is Battlefield Benevolence. It's a 1-cost event. It's a tactic, hero action, heal 2 damage from an enemy, confuse that enemy, and it generates a strength. So that's kind of an interesting one, in my opinion, to be in Wonder Man. But I don't know. This is I kind of like the thing. It's like, here, let me heal you. I'm putting a first aid on an enemy, and he's like, why are you healing me? So
yeah, but
he gets confused.
Of note, though, there's the arrow, so that means that you do have to be able to heal at least 1 point to the enemies.
All right, and Wonder Man's special deck building is he can have energy events from off aspects, and he's coming in as justice. So here we have an aggression aspect. This is a reprint, so this is if you're playing in the current format, this card will now be back in rotation. It costs 2, it's bombs away, aerial tactic, hero action, exhaust an aerial character you control and choose a player. Deal 3 damage to the villain and each minion engage with that player. And of course, it generates an energy.
And it's not an attack, so you do not get retaliate. All right, next we've got Everywhere All at Once. So this is an X cost event, which means the event will have to do with the card text. We'll get to that, but it's an aerial thwart. You can only play this if you have the aerial trait, but as a thwart action, you can choose X schemes. Remove 2 threat from each chosen scheme, 3 instead if you overpaid for this card. So if you want to do 3 schemes, you have to pay 3, and if you pay 4, then you can do 3 threat from each instead of 2.
Yeah. So it's a really adaptable multitasking.
Yeah, and there's 3 copies of that. I don't know if I said that.
Right. And then the next is we've got a protection event, 3 copies, of course. Stronger Together, 0-cost event. Heal Interrupt. When a character other than your hero would take any amount of damage, if that character shares a trait with your hero, reduce that damage by your defense, and it comes in with energy. And Wonder Man has a 2 defense, so this could be a way to keep one of your critical allies from taking consequential damage for especially if it's one of those dual ones, if you're like Voltroning, I guess. Or you could also prevent another player from maybe being eliminated because it's like, that's enough, the villain did enough damage to kill you and we're both Avengers, so I'll play Stronger Together and you get to reduce the amount of damage by 2, and now you're still alive with 1 hit point or something.
Yeah, and if you're doing if you happen to be doing a perfect defense style build, you could actually just use that to instead of blocking for the other character, so you don't have to exhaust to do it.
Right. All right.
See, next we've got 3 copies of Unified Strike. So this is a 0-cost tactic event. As a hero interrupt, whenever an ally uses a basic power, you can exhaust your hero to add your hero's matching power to that ally's power for this use, and the ally does not take consequential damage for this use. So this is a way to take, if you've got, say, if you're building a Voltron, that is beefed up on attack, but you need to thwart for some reason. You can thwart with him instead, exhaust your ally, add that to their thwart, and he still won't take the consequential. So
Yeah.
that's nice.
I have a Wonder Man deck idea. It's actually aggression that we'll hope we'll get to at some point. That that card is a critical card, even though it's an aggression deck. So
Okay.
then we have 3 copies of Heroic Conditioning. So this is the Justice version of the ones we've seen in Tigra and Hulkling's deck.
Oh, I've been waiting for this one.
Yeah, so this one is an Endurance and a Heroic Intuition combined. So it costs 3. It's a condition. Play under any player's control, max 1 per player. You get +3 hit points, and your hero gets +1 thwart.
All right, and then we get to the basic card. So first one we've got here is Swordsman. So he's a 4-cost Avenger ally with 4 hit points. He thwarts for 2, takes attacks for 2. He does take 2 consequential when he thwarts, but his basic attacks gain piercing. And after a boost card is turned up during an undefended attack as a hero response, you can declare Swordsman as the defender without exhausting him. So that's really nice.
All right.
Especially if you can manage to get a tough onto him.
All right, the next we have the double resource cards with the new Civil War art. So of course we got energy. And, we just have energy. So no genius or strength.
Oh wow, okay. Well, I guess that makes sense because he would rather have the energy, so I guess it's not as useful to him.
So this is, I think, the first hero that we've either had heroes that have had none of the double resources or all 3. This is the first one where we've only had 1. So that's kind of interesting. Okay. And then the final player card in his deck.
And then we've got Jarvis. So Jarvis is a 2-cost Avenger Persona support. And as a response, after an Avenger hero changes into alter ego form, you can exhaust Jarvis to choose either that identity gets +2 recovery until the end of the phase, or discard a status card from that enemy. So it's almost like a Night Nurse a little bit. Or Dr. Sinclair, one of those.
It's like Dr.
Sinclair. More like Dr. Sinclair, but it is for Avengers specifically and any aspect.
Right.
So that's nice.
So, I mean, like we saw like the X Mansion and those that were for like mutants and stuff. So it's kind of nice to see now that Avengers is kind of getting the same kind of treatment.
Yeah, because they've been around since the beginning. So
yeah. All right. And then his obligation is pacifism. Give the Simon Williams player, Wonder Man cannot attack. And as an alter ego action, you can exhaust Simon Williams, or you discard 3 cards tucked under Ionic Physiology to discard this card.
So we're back to the ones that don't go away.
Yeah, so it makes sense, that he's not going to get over his pacifism once, so he's stuck with it for the game.
Yeah. What if you really tick him off?
Yeah. Well, what really ticked me off is get rid of it, and then the encounter deck gets exhausted, and you reshuffle it, and then it's dealt the next turn. The turn, and I just got rid of it, and then it's back again. All right, then his Nemesis set.
All right, so the first one we've got here is Grim Reaper. So Grim Reaper is a cyborg minion with 3 hit points. He schemes for 2. He attacks for 2. He has Quick Strike, and as a force response, after he attacks and defeats an ally, you're going to deal that ally's controller a face down encounter card. So yeah, he's one that he'll punish you for chump blocking him.
All right, and then the side scheme for the Nemesis set is Brother versus Brother. Comes in with 2 threat per player, has an amplify. As an additional cost to attack Grim Reaper, you must discard 1 card from your hand. So yeah, Grim Reaper doesn't have a lot of hit points, so there's ways to make it more difficult to deal with them. So that's what this does.
All right, next we've got Scythe Strike. So this treachery, whenever it's revealed, if Grim Reaper's in play, he activates against you. Otherwise, you're going to take 2 indirect damage.
Okay. Then the treachery, we have 2 copies. Death cannot die. Grim Reaper activates against you. If Grim Reaper is not in play, find him and reveal him. And as a boost, if Grim Reaper is in play, he activates against you after this activation.
And let's see if what is find pulls it from
the set aside area, the discard pile, the deck.
The victory? Does it do it for victory?
It doesn't
Not for
do victory
okay.
or if it's dealt to someone face down.
Okay.
Or things like the vault and stuff. All right. Then, of course, that was all the cards that are required for the the starter deck anyways, and the Nemesis set. So we have this card that's telling that everything behind it is additional cards, and then if you want to rebuild this starter deck. There you go. There's how to do it.
Yeah, because we do occasionally go back and replay the starters every once in a while, just for
Right.
funsies. All right, so getting to the cards that are just in the back of the deck. First one we've got here is a 3 copies of Caught in the Crossfire. So this is a 0 cost tactic upgrade. You can attach it to a non-elite minion and max 1 per minion. And as an interrupt, whenever a friendly character attacks, deal 1 damage to the attached minion. And you do not have to attack that minion.
All right. Then we got Cameo. It's a dash support. It's a setup card, max 1 per deck.
Okay.
Setup. Search your collection for an identity-specific ally for an identity not in the game. Shuffle that ally into your deck. And then you're going to discard 2 cards from your hand and remove this card from the game. So your starting turn is going to be a little weaker because you got to get rid of 2 cards. But you can get a pretty powerful ally, that's not in the game added.
Yeah.
And it can come up with some really interesting deck building ideas.
And on top of that, though, that means you can also add the sidekick and put it on somebody who's not your signature ally.
Yeah.
Because it just says a signature ally. It does not say your signature ally.
Right.
I was kind of wondering why they worded it that way.
Well, because you could make the call to get someone else's signature.
Yeah, but that never seemed like the best use of it. This one actually definitely makes it seem like it's a better use for it.
All right.
To me, it makes more sense. All right, then we've got coordinated effort. We've got 3 copies of this. It's a 0 cost upgrade, tactic upgrade, and you can attach it to an encounter card in play, max 1 per encounter card. So in other words, it sounds like you could attach it to a side scheme. You could attach it to an attachment that the villain has or something. But while paying costs on attached card, any player may help pay for them. Okay, so this definitely sounds like it's targeted toward the attachments.
Yeah, for the villain attachments and stuff.
So that way, because that's always been one of the struggles, is trying to pay for some of those because of the cost requirements. So we've had to leave them sitting out a little longer than we're comfortable with. And so that way you can actually get help from other players. So
well, a lot of times it's like, hey, can you get rid of the attachments? Like, well, I can get rid of 2 of the, they cost 1 of each, resource type. And you go, well, I only have strength and energy. And and you go, oh, well, I only have a genius in my hand, so between the 2 players, you could get rid of the upgrade. And especially with someone like Wonder Man, who's going to have an energy heavy deck.
Yeah.
He's going to struggle with the ones that require discard 2 strength to get rid of it or something.
Yep.
All right. The next card we have is Disarming Defense. We got 3 copies, cost 1. Hero Interrupt Defense. When your hero defends against an attack, it gets +2 defense for that attack. If you take no damage from that attack, discard an attachment on the attacking enemy with the text hero action or hero response. So again, this is...
Oh, this is the Sunfire power, but in an event for protection.
Right, which is pretty fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because, I like that.
So between those last 2 cards are really... Which makes me think the attachments for villains are going to get rougher and rougher.
Probably, yeah.
If
they're
we're
giving
getting
you a way to
cards.
get rid of them.
All right, and then the final card in the pack.
All right, so then we've got Avenger Compound. So we've got, looks like 1 copy of this. It's a 0 cost Avenger location support. You do have to be an Avenger to play this, and there's a max 1 per deck. But as an action, you can exhaust the compound, choose to tuck an ally from your hand here if there is no ally tucked, or you can play the ally as if it were in your hand. So I do like that because that way it does have to be an Avenger, or no, you have to have an Avenger, but the ally does not. So you can tuck an ally, and especially if you've kind of built the deck or to where they are more useful in specific situations. Yeah, put them there and hold them for that situation.
I'm thinking someone like, say you played your Maria Recursion, and I drew Nick Fury, and it's like, oh well, I have Nick Fury in my hand, but I've already played out my turn, so I can put Nick Fury under there because the ally doesn't have to be an Avenger.
Yeah, it's in an action, so you can just
call for an action. I'll stick
so,
Nick Fury there, and then next turn I draw my 5 cards, and then I can afford to play Nick Fury on the following turn. So you know, something like that.
Yeah, I do like that. I didn't even think about if you couldn't afford it, but I mean that makes sense.
Yeah, or what has happened to me sometimes is I play, say, Nick Fury, and then I draw Nick Fury Senior as one of my 3 cards, and it's like, well, I can't afford to get him.
Yeah, I'm on resource short.
So I'll stick Nick Fury Senior under there, and then now I've got 2 turns in a row where Nick Fury is going to let me draw some cards. So that,
or the other thing I like is like you get a card that says You can only play one per turn, and you've got two of them. I've had that happen to me before. So yeah, I like that.
Uh, well, it's only allies.
Oh, is it only allies?
Yeah, it's only allies.
Well, dig it. Okay, never mind.
All right.
I'm already trying to figure out how
I
to
was
break
gonna
it.
say the only multiple copies of an ally you can play is
Multiple man.
right, and you're allowed to play.
Yeah, you have four
But
of those, right?
if you are playing an Avenger and you have multiple, there's three copies, and if you have
Three?
multiple man in your deck and you're about ready to shuffle, then you could stuff the last multiple man under there until you've decked, and now the other two multiple mans are in your draw pile, and then you can play multiple man. So
You can do that.
you could use it to get multiple man recursion.
All right, now let's see about playing multiple. Oh, multiple man recursion?
That'd be a little hard to pull off, but this would
No,
help.
wait a minute.
This would help with multiple man recursion.
No, Spider Woman could do it. No, never mind. She's a web warrior.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, Spider Woman is an Avenger.
she is an Avenger. Yeah, she can do it.
Yeah.
She's
All
got
right.
the colors to do it.
Anyways, we're
Not gonna have to try that.
we're way off
It's for
topic now. Okay. Anyway, so we're gonna end this video because we're getting silly. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe.
And if you want to see more content by us, go and hit that notification bell down there, and you'll get alerts whenever we post new videos. All right, see you.